How to complete the Glory of the Cataclysm Raider achievement that rewards the Drake of the East Wind mount. This achievement has 24 criteria in total, but 12 of them are literally to just defeat the bosses on heroic difficulty, so we'll get those done regardless. As for the other 12 achievements, most of them are super easy one-shots, so you can probably get this whole thing done in less than an hour. We're going to be going to 3 different raids from the Cataclysm expansion: Blackwing Descent, Bastion of Twilight, and the Throne of Four Winds. You can do them in whatever order you want, but I'll be starting with Blackwing Descent. Blackwing Descent is located in the zone Burning Steppes in Eastern Kingdoms. If you're Alliance, you can easily just fly there from Stormwind, and if you're Horde coming from Orgrimmar, there's a few ways you could get there, but to keep it simple and universal for everyone, I'd recommend using the Zeppelin to Stranglethorn Vale, located here in Orgrimmar, then fly to Burning Steppes. Once you get there, on the side of the Blackrock Mountain, you'll find this platform with the entrance to Blackwing Descent. Just make sure to set the raid difficulty to heroic before you go inside, and let's start knocking these out. Our first achievement is Parasite Evening from the boss Magmaw. This is just a simple one-shot. Next up is Achieve-a-tron from the boss Omnotron Defense System. This is also another simple one-shot. Now we are going to be heading down, so come to this location and wait for the elevator. When we get to this bottom level, there's 3 bosses around this ring in a circle, and I'm going to be going to the left first to start with the first boss, Chimaeron, for our next achievement, Full of Sound and Fury. This one, yet again, is another easy one-shot. Next up is Silence is Golden from the boss Atramedes. This one is also a one-shot, but we have to get the boss to spawn in first. So kill all these dwarves on the side, then some RP stuff will happen between Nefarian and Maloriak, but you don't have to watch it. As soon as you see this ancient bell is glowing, you can just run over and click on it and the boss will spawn in and fly over, and then you can just one-shot him. Next up is Aberrant Behavior from the boss Maloriak. This is the first achievement that isn't just a one-shot, so pay attention. You're going to want to aggro the boss, don't attack him at all yet, just wait. After a while you'll see these aberrations start to spawn in a few at a time, and we need to wait for at least 12 of them. It takes roughly 3 to 4 minutes and you should have enough of them, so feel free to AFK for a few minutes if you want to. Once you're sure there's 12, you'll want to get them away from the boss, so ideally when he's busy casting something, he stays away from you for a few seconds. Once you've got the aberrations separate from the boss, go ahead and AoE them down all at once, then go ahead and kill the boss. Now that we're done with those bosses, we are on the last achievement, Keeping It in the Family from the last boss, Nefarian. This achievement has a lot of confusing, complicated comments on Wowhead about different methods to do it, but personally I decided to try this commenter's method and it worked for me. So here's how it's done. When you're ready to start, head over to this location to click on the green orb to start the encounter. Then run over to where Nefarian is standing, and when he's done talking, he will fly up into the air. Don't attack him yet, and don't jump down into the pit. Just wait here and let him do 1 lap. When he comes back into range, just one-shot him. This immediately gave me the achievement. Just the only thing to note, to be safe, make sure you use an ability that has some kind of cast time or travel time. Nothing that's super immediate instant cast, because that might not work. I've heard people say that that bugs it out. But for example, I tested this on 4 characters and I found that my Paladin's Judgment worked, my Priest's Void Torrent worked, my Mage's Fireball worked, but for some reason my Warlock's Drain Life didn't agree with the achievement. So if for some reason it doesn't work for you, it's probably because the achievement is just kind of buggy and it didn't like whatever ability you used. So if that happens, you'll just have to expect that it might take a couple of tries on a few different characters, or you might have to come back next Tuesday reset and test it again with a different ability. Alright, we are now finished in Blackwing Descent, and next we are going to head to the Bastion of Twilight, which is located in the zone Twilight Highlands. So I'd recommend hearthing out at this point, get back to Stormwind or Orgrimmar, and I'll show you where to go from here. For Alliance in Stormwind, you're going to want to come to this area where they have all the Cataclysm portals, and this is the portal to Twilight Highlands. And for the Horde in Orgrimmar, this is where you can find the Cataclysm portals, and here is our portal to the Twilight Highlands. Once you've gone through the portal, we're just going to fly over to this area on the map, and you'll know you're heading the right way because of this purple, spirally, creepy Twilight Tower. The raid entrance is located at the very top right here on the map. And again, just make sure you're still on Heroic 25 player for the raid difficulty, and then we can head inside. Alright, so the first achievement is the only escape from the boss Halfus Wyrmbreaker. You're going to want to aggro the boss, but don't attack him at all yet. Instead, you'll need to free 2 of the drakes that are chained nearby. It doesn't matter which 2, just walk over to one, click to free it, then do the same for a second drake. Once you've done that, you'll have the boss and both drakes attacking you, and your goal is to kill both drakes within 10 seconds of each other, then finish off the boss. So when you're ready, use a single target ability to bring down one drake, then quickly do the same to the other, and after that, you're safe to go ahead and kill the boss. Our next achievement is Double Dragon from the bosses Theralion and Valiona, and honestly, this is probably the most annoying one to do on the list. Here's how it's done. Aggro the boss, don't do any damage yet. You're going to want to wait until you get 5 stacks of a debuff called Twilight Shift. Once you hit 5 stacks, you'll be pulled into the Twilight Realm, which is exactly where we need to be. Your goal in here is to kill 6 Twilight Fiends, these weird little alien-looking creatures that spawn randomly and run across the room. They only stick around for a few seconds before despawning though, so you'll need to be quick. But it's okay if you miss one, just keep waiting for another to spawn in and try again. What I did was just run around tab targeting until I locked onto one, and then I'd single target it down as fast as possible. I personally just used my auto attack ability just because I feel like it's the safest thing to use in these kinds of scenarios where I don't want to risk using anything that could accidentally kill the boss. So basically, I was just running around the room, looking around, sometimes using speed boost to chase them down, auto-attacking, and just keeping a mental count in my head of how many I've killed. And I think I ended up killing about 8 or 9 of them just to be extra sure I got the 6 required. Once I was convinced I had at least 6 kills, I went ahead and killed the boss, and it worked. Now, heading to the boss Elementium Monstrosity for the achievement Elementary. This one is essentially just another easy kill the boss scenario, but you do have to start the encounter, which requires attacking the 2 bosses that then split into another 2, and then 4 of them come together in the middle and merge into one giant boss. And once that one's there, just go ahead and kill it and you'll get your achievement. And finally, heading to the last boss, Cho'gall, for the last achievement in here, the Abyss will gaze back into you. This one is also just another just kill the boss scenario, except he just takes a little bit of time to die, but just go ahead and kill him and you'll get your achievement. And we are now finished in the Bastion of Twilight, and next we will be going to our final dungeon, the Throne of 4 Winds, which is located in the zone Uldum. So go ahead and hearth out and get back to Stormwind or Orgrimmar. We're gonna again head to the Cataclysm portals that I mentioned earlier and take the one to Uldum that looks like this. Once you're there, we're just gonna fly over to this location on the map where you'll find the raid entrance near the top of this beautiful tower right here on the map. And by the way, we only need 2 achievements in here, so this will be pretty quick. But before you go in, you will absolutely need the toy, the Whole Body Shrinka, so if you don't have that yet, check out this other video I made that explains how you can get it in just a few minutes. Other than that though, once you're ready, let's head inside. Our first achievement is Stay Chill from the Conclave of Wind boss, which is basically these 3 wind elemental bosses along the outside 3 platforms, and they're all part of the same fight. Our goal is to get 7 stacks of the Wind Chill debuff and defeat the encounter while you have the 7 stacks. It's actually pretty easy to do, so when you're ready, the first thing we want to do is head to the platform of the boss named Nazir. He's the one who will give us our Wind Chill stacks. So you're going to want to aggro him but not do any damage, but he doesn't seem to like to aggro from just you running into him, so you'll probably have to use something like a taunt or just some ability that doesn't do any damage. And if you don't have an ability like that, worst case, you can just attack him, and even though you will essentially kill him, because the other 2 bosses are still up, he'll actually start channeling this gathering strength ability, and when that's done, he'll go back to full health, and then at that point you can just stand there and wait for your debuffs. As soon as you've got at least the 7 stacks, you're going to want to go to one of the other boss's platforms, keeping in mind you've only got the debuff for about 30 seconds or so make sure you go pretty quickly. So just go ahead and kill the boss on the other platform, then go right back to Nazir because you want to get him to refresh your stacks again. You can see I still had about 15 seconds left on it, and then he hit me again with it, and now I'm at 8 stacks, so I started to head over to the next boss's platform, but then I decided to let him give me another stack just because I wanted to have the full 30 seconds of time. Then I went across to kill the other boss, and then headed back to kill Nazir because he's the only one left, and you should still have about 15 seconds left and you've got your full stacks, so go ahead and kill him too, and boom, you killed all 3 of them while having your 7 stacks of wind chill. And finally, we are on the very last achievement of this guide. It is called Foreplay from the boss Al-Akir, and I'm beginning to think we should have started with this achievement at the beginning of the video, if you know what I mean. Anyways, the first thing we need to do for this achievement is get over to the boss Al-Akir. You can do that by clicking on this slipstream that you can find on any of the boss's platforms that we just killed. It will teleport you to the middle. Once you're there, don't engage the boss yet. We need to use our Whole Body Shrinka Toy, and we can only do that while out of combat, so make sure to put that on before you start the encounter. And also definitely don't be dumb like me and put the Whole Body Shrinka Toy on before using the slipstream, because that will remove the toy effect and then you'd have to wait 30 minutes for its cooldown. Anyways, once you're on the platform and you've got your toy on, go ahead and engage the boss, and slowly chip him down to 50%. It's okay if you go a little bit more, but definitely do not kill him yet. You just need him at that 50% point, and then an ad will spawn in called a Stormling. You're going to want to single target it down because you don't want to accidentally kill the boss yet, but once that Stormling is dead, you are good to kill the boss, and boom, we are totally done with the Glory of the Cataclysm Raider meta achievement. You should now have your Drake of the East Wind mount, unless there's any achievements that got messed up for you during all this and you have to go back again, but you know what I mean, so congratulations and thanks for hanging out with me and watching the video. And by the way, I even forgot to mention that the boss we just killed, Al-Akir, has a chance to drop another mount, the Drake of the South Wind, so good luck on getting that too when you loot the little crystal up in the sky. As for the video itself, I'd really appreciate any likes, comments, subscribes to the channel, all that good stuff, and let me know if you have any questions or issues and I'll do my best to help you out in the comments. See you guys in the next one.